The views and opinions expressed on the show by the host and her guest do not reflect the views of Johnson & Johnson or its management. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good evening, mommies! Kamusta naman kayo tonight? Hope everyone is still safe and happy at home. My name is Kat Salaw, joining you for another session of Johnson School of Gentle. And we are so happy because this is already our 6th episode, our 6th session together. Wow, thank you so much, mommies and daddies, for all the support that you have shown us, because all of this we are really doing to ease your worries during this quarantine. All your support, it really inspires us to keep improving all our sessions. So we hope to continue helping all the moms out there despite what is going on right now. Today's School of Gentle actually was inspired by a lot of parents who have been sharing that they've been witnessing so many milestones with their toddlers. And it's because, we have more time to stay at home with our children. And we're very, very excited to talk about this because this is the first time that we're going to talk about toddlers and their milestones. And as the enhanced community quarantine continues, we want to help you maximize this opportunity that you have to prioritize the day-to-day learning of your toddlers. Today's session is also very special because we have not one, but 2 guests with me today, and I'm so excited to introduce them. They are 2 mommies, 2 wonderful mommies that will be sharing their expertise and their experiences as well in raising their toddlers. So hopefully, if you have any questions for them, you continue to comment it in the comment section so that we can ask them as many questions as possible and talagang masulit natin itong session with Johnson School of Gentle. All right, so joining us today is an early childhood educator, a kinder music maestro educator, a multiple intelligence specialist, and a mother of 3, Teacher Marah Estueta. Hi, Teacher Marah.
Hello, Cats. Good evening, and good evening also to all the viewers watching tonight.
Teacher Marah, I'm so excited to ask you all the questions of all our mommies tonight.
Okay.
Also joining us is one of Johnson's baby celebrity Mombassadors. She is a mom to Lucia and Carmen. Welcome, Mommy Bianca Gonzales. Hi, Mommy Bianca.
Hi, Cats, and hi, Teacher Marah, and hi to everyone at home who's watching this. Hello.
So, Mommy Bianca, she was watching the previous sessions, and now you are part of it already. I'm really excited to ask. Yeah, both of you, all your experiences with your toddlers. So before we start, just so the mommies know, I'd like to ask both of you about the toddlers that we'll talk about. So first question, questions. How old are your children and your youngest specifically also? And meron din bang kayong mga milestones na na-witness during this quarantine period? Teacher Marah, let's start with you.
Okay, so for me, I'm blessed to have 3 children. My firstborn is a girl. She's Lian and she's 12 years old. She was immediately followed by a boy. His name is Gabriel and he's 11 years old. So for the longest time, akala ko at ng asawa ko nakota na kami, no? With 1 girl and 1 boy. But we were blessed with another baby girl. I have Lauren and she's 2 years and 8 months old.
Cute.
So for our milestone, this ECQ, we were able to potty train. Okay, so right now, she's not wearing any diapers anymore during the day. Okay, so she just wears her diaper when she sleeps. So that's during her afternoon naps and when she sleeps at night. So it's very, very fulfilling to really experience this milestone together.
Wait, how old again, teacher?
12, 11, and 2.
I mean, your bunso na potty trained 2 and
2 and 8 months.
Potty trained na. Teacher ka talaga.
Daytime pa lang. We just started actually.
Grabe. And it is possible if you have the right tools to be able to do that. 2 years and 8 months, that deserves a round of applause. I'm sure a lot of mommies are very shocked while watching and listening as well. Okay, Mommy Bianca, what about you?
I have 2 girls, Lucia, who is 4.5 years old, and Carmen, who is 1.5 years old. As for milestones, siguro more than anything, communication yung nakita kong milestone. Like, my eldest daughter, the 4.5, has been speaking talaga in complete sentences naman prior to the lockdown. But during the lockdown, parang the way she communicates and forms her sentences and expresses herself mas tumodo. And for the 1.5, from just maybe 3 words before the lockdown, now ang dami na niyang words na nasasabi. Not clearly, like blue is boo, bird is buh, but like you know that that's what she's saying, and dumami na talaga. So those are so far our milestones.
Oh, that is so wonderful. It really means so much. Yeah, you reserve another round of applause as well. And I'm sure a lot of mommies out there also and daddies are experiencing so many milestones with their children. But also the worry is there na hindi nila masisigurado if their children are reaching the milestones, the proper learning milestones of their kids. And it's really very exciting that we have the both of you, so you can both tell us these different experiences and also to help our mommies out there. Ang dami kasing distractions ngayon. So there we go. With Mommy Bianca and Teacher Marah, we hope to address as many questions and share some tips as well for all the mommies out there. Again, if you have any questions for them, feel free na i-comment lang sa comment section. Hahanapin talaga namin yun, and we're really gonna try to answer as many as possible. Okay, before we start with the questions that we've already gathered from the mommies, Teacher Marah, we want to talk really quickly about the most important developmental milestones of a toddler. Can you share about that?
Okay. All right. When we say developmental milestones, these are the behavior and skills that a child should be able to do at a certain age range, So just as a recall, for the infants, when we say 6 months old, they should be able to roll over. But 9 months old, they should be able to crawl or pull themselves up to stand. And then by 1 year old, they should be able to walk. Okay, so but for toddlers, to simplify it, I'm going to discuss this in the 4 different areas of development. So that's physical, social, emotional, language, and cognitive. Okay, so when we say physical development, so this is what the body can do. Okay, and so for toddlers, ano ba ang mga kailangan na nagmamanifest? They should be able to jump already and land on 2 feet. Okay, they should be able to run. Oh yeah, they can run so fast. Then they should also be able to stand on tiptoes. Then they should be able to kick the ball, throw the ball. They like climbing up and down furnitures. Yan. Sobrang favorite nila yan. Of course, they also like to walk up and down the stairs, holding onto the rail. And they can actually already pedal using a tricycle. So yun yung sa mga physical development, okay? Now, for the social-emotional development of toddlers, they are at this stage that they can copy already their parents or the people around them. So you'll be very surprised that, even yung facial expressions ni mommy, yung mga, mannerisms, they pick it up. So they can really copy the people around them, okay? Now, it's also at this stage that they can already also show concern for others, So, for example, si brother did something wrong, and of course, mommy needs to talk to brother. Alam ni toddler, and she'll go to the brother, hug the brother. So, nag-uumpisa na yung pag-show ng empathy at this stage, So, nag-show na ng concern for others. Okay, and also for the social emotional, for this stage, they also have that strong sense of ownership. Laging everything, it's mine. Alam nila kung alin yung plate nila, alin yung toothbrush nila, alin yung clothes nila, di ba? They always say, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Then also, kasi later on, and I think this will come out, they also have an awareness of their parents' approval and disapproval of their actions. So they really want to please their mommies and daddies, or actually the people around them. So alam nila if they were able to do something that the parents will appreciate. And if they also did something wrong, iiyak yan eh. Alam na nila. Oo. So of course, it's also, this toddler age that they're really showing more and more independence. Okay. So now let's go to language development. No, kanina si Bianca was talking about, language development of Lucia. Okay, so for toddlers age, ito na. Of course, they should be able to speak already, no? So the things that they should be able to say, they should be able to say their name, the names of the people around them, and their body parts, among many others. Okay, kasi yung mga 2s and 3s, medyo mas madadaldal na talaga siya. They can point already and name pictures in a picture book. Okay, in terms of sentences, they can say 2 to 4 word sentences already by this age. So yun yung mga, for example, mommy, milk please. So kaya na nila magsalita ng ganyan. They can also follow simple instructions. So for example, ayan, pwede na silang utusan. No? So for example,
kunin mo to, is my favorite.
Kaya na nila yan. And syempre, yung mga 3 years old, kaya pa rin nila yung 2-step instructions. Please get my shoes and put it in the cabinet. So kaya na nila yan. Okay, so that's their language development. Okay, now cognitive development. What is cognitive development ba? Ito yung how the children construct their thought process. So for example, for toddlers, 2 to 3 years old, they should be able to already sort shapes and colors. So ito yung, the popular toy, yung shape sorter, no? So they know where to put the circle in the correct hole. Okay, they should be able to put all the same colors together, no? All the reds, all the yellows, all the blues together. Yun yung cognitive development, okay? Then they should also be able to stack or build the towers. They can also do 3 to 4 piece puzzles already. And they like to play make-believe. Ayan, favorite nila to. Ito yung mga doctor, teacher, cooking. Yan, no? So, nagde-develop na rin yung symbolic thinking nila na, kunyari daw, yung pencil ay yung sword. So yeah, they enjoy that. Okay, now, there's another milestone here, no? Yung they find things even when they're hidden under 2 or 3 covers. This is a milestone because remember, when they were younger, maybe babies, no? When they lose sight of mommy or of their favorite toy, iiyak na kaagad sila, di ba? But come 2 or 3 years old, medyo they begin to understand that, it's just hiding. I can find it. So they like this hide and seek games, no? Of course, yan, pag toddlers also, they can already complete sentences, okay, of a popular rhyme or a familiar book. So, for example, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall.
Kami pala yun.
Wall. So, yon. So, those are just the different milestones in the 4 different areas. That's physical, social-emotional, language, and cognitive.
There you go. Thank you so much for that, Teacher Marah, because these are milestones that siguro the parents and the mommies and daddies, at least they have an idea while they are stuck at home at ECQ. Now you know these important developmental milestones that you can watch out for during the quarantine. Okay.
I have a question. Okay lang. Teacher Marah, what is the strict definition ng toddler? Kasi in my head, pati yung 4-year-old ko, toddler pa rin. So like, ano yung...
Actually, ang toddler is technically 2 to 3 years old. Preschooler na yung tawag sa 4s and 5s.
Okay, so the milestones you talked about are 2 to 3.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
All right.
There, we have cleared that. At least something new that we've learned also. I also consider toddler, I think 4-year-old, but there's an age range pala. Okay.
Preschoolers already.
The preschoolers, very, very... Hopefully we'll have a session for the preschoolers as well in the future. But right now, it's all about the toddlers, and the questions are ready. This one is specifically for the potty training that we have talked about earlier, because I'm sure a lot of mommies out there are, let's say, challenged by this milestone of their children. So the first question is, what is the right, or when is the right age to potty train your baby, and how can I successfully potty train him? Teacher Marah?
Okay, all right. What is the right age? So the age perfect for potty training is really between 18 months to 3 years old. No, why? So we go back to our developmental milestones, no? Because it's around this age that they are able to control their bladder. Remember, this is the time that they can already communicate and show independence. Okay, but pediatricians recommend to wait until 4, 5, 6 years old or even 7 years old to potty train at night. So iba pa yon. Iba pa yung potty training ng daytime, iba pa yung potty training ng nighttime because they're asleep. They probably, can't gauge if they need to go to the bathroom or not. Kasi nga, they're still sleeping. So pediatricians recommend to wait pa ng a little bit older. So like right now, no, my daughter, we're potty training ng daytime. So, hindi ko pa muna siya pinipilit ng nighttime. Okay. So, paano ba maging successful ang potty training? Okay. Number one, of course, you have to check the readiness of the child. Very, very important that you see that your child is ready emotionally and physically for that. No? Kasi if hindi pa siya ready, it's just gonna be very stressful for you and the child. And of course, we don't want that. We only want to, create positive, happy memories with our children. So if they're not yet ready, medyo let's not push it. Okay, so my daughter is 2 years, 8 months. So when I told her, medyo she was ready. Medyo ready na talaga siya. Okay, number 2, introduce the potty. Okay. Of course, for us, Bianca, medyo, I think you'll agree with me, no? Ang ating mga toddlers, medyo introduce na sila sa potty because they always try to follow the parents everywhere they go.
Yes.
So, for example, for me, kasi yung baby ko medyo clingy talaga, no? So, everywhere I go, she wants to be with me. So, that means even if it involves toilet time, okay? Mm-hmm. So, of course, on that note, no, I think taas-taas yung mga mommies na nakaka-relate sa akin, no? O, I think
ang dami yan.
That's walang privacy ng mga mommy. Oh, no. But of course, on that note, syempre, ang maganda naman dito is that they are already introduced with, what is the toilet for? Okay, ano ba yung ginagawa doon? Di ba? They hear the sound, they see everything that's happening. Okay, so there, you have to introduce the toilet or the potty. For some families, they buy their toddlers their own potty. Or remember, we talked about that they have a strong sense of ownership. So maybe that would help if they have their own potty. Okay, but syempre, it's a case-to-case basis. Then number 3, of course, we have to be very patient. So anytime the child needs to go, you have to bring the child. Actually, ang umpisa pa dyan si mommy, okay, do you need to go? Do you need to go? Do you need to go? Maya-maya talaga. Okay, so but you have to really be very patient. May mga cases pa dyan na pagdala mo dun sa bata, sa toilet, wala namang lalabas. Oo, gusto lang niya ng time with mommy. Of course, di ba, we don't also show any signs of annoyance or frustration na parang, why did you bring me here? Hindi ka naman pala hindi ka naman pala naiihi and all that. Of course, meron ding mga accidents. So the parents should have patience. Medyo you already have to condition your mind that there's going to be a lot of cleaning. It's going to be a lot of hard work. But you know what? Diba, Cats and Bianca, I really agree with Johnson's in their advocacy of gentle parenting. Diba? Kasi syempre, imagine mo, it's a very stressful experience for the child na nagka-accident siya, no? So it's very embarrassing already. Tapos papagalitan pa ng parents. So it will not help the situation. So ako, I really support Johnson's in their advocacy ng gentle parenting. No, we pray, we just talk to the child. It's okay. It's okay. Next time we'll have to go. We don't have to wait. So, diba, we can go right away. Yung mga ganyan. Of course, on that note, kailangan puro praise din naman if naging successful yung experience, no? So ako, I really, wow, good job, Lauren. You were able to pee already. You don't have to wear your diaper. So yung mga hug, high five. Then ako, I reinforce pa, paglabas namin ng bahay, ng toilet, ng bathroom, I say, Daddy, you know what? Lauren already went to the toilet by herself. So talagang involved lahat. Oh, wow, good job. And of course, they feel good about it, no? So talagang a lot of patience, and support, a lot of praises, and conditioning also to the parents. So talagang, okay, it's gonna be challenging, But once you successfully do it, then syempre, you'll be very happy also and fulfilled
That's
afterward.
true. That's true, Mommy Bianca. I saw you nodding a lot of times the whole
Yes.
experience. So, what was your patience level and your challenges when it came to potty training?
I think the best advice that Teacher Marah gave was that maybe I'd say half of the success of potty training is also the parents' patience talaga. I had a friend, a mommy friend who has kids a bit older than me, who told me yun ang number one rule niya. Be patient. Huwag mong papagalitan kapag nagka-accident kasi it will not help the situation. So in my case, with my daughter Lucia, we started potty training her at I think 2. And we knew that she was ready kasi she could speak na, and somehow, I guess for my daughter, easier for her to say na napupupo siya. Sorry, I'm allowed to say that. Napupupo siya rather than nawiwiwi. So it so happened that when she was 2, she could say pupu, she'll just say pupu, 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 parang ganon. Tapos, same as Teacher Marah, we bought her this parang duck yung itsura ng potty niya eh. And that's where she would sit. And when she would sit, she could still play with her games kasi portable yun eh. She could still play with her toys. So nauna ang poop kasi madali niyang, I guess even us, di ba, we can tell easier that we need to go number 2 rather than pee, right? And then shortly after that, maybe I'd say 3 to 4 months, she started saying wee-wee. I mean, she started being able to tell na nawiwiwi siya. It was harder for her to tell that she wanted to pee rather than she wanted to poop. So, all in all, we had very few accidents. Also because yung ugali ng panganay ko, si Lucia, she is very malinis sa gamit. So, she did not like the idea of peeing in her panty. Parang ganyan. So, successfully till around 3, before 3, she was already potty trained for daytime. And actually, it did not take long for her to be potty trained nighttime. Like now, manggigising siya talaga if she wants to pee at 4 a.m., which hardly happens. But she's potty trained for nighttime na din. But we do wear a diaper on her for nighttime just to prevent accidents. And kasi kung magising siya at nawiwi, sino ba maglilinis nun? So that is why lang. But it was fairly easy with my toddler. And now that I know that 1.5 is a great time to start, I will definitely start with my bunso, si Carmen. But si Carmen kasi, when she turned 1, what we did was, and I don't know, Teacher Marah, if this is correct, every morning when she wakes up, we sit her on the toilet with the potty seat to go, if ever. Just so that she builds that habit of, this is where you go when you feel like going. So sometimes meron nga, sometimes wala. So that's something we do every morning. And then, last tip is, how our kids have faces they make when they need to go? So pag parang gaganyan, di ba? Nakikita mo na. When she does that, we immediately run her to the potty. So that we take off the diaper, and then just so she has that notion that if she feels that it's potty time. So far, yun ang ginagawa namin with my second.
Are those tips approved by Teacher Marah as well? I see her.
Very good si Mommy Bianca, no? Kasi routines work well for children. So yung first thing in the morning, you bring the child. So that's gonna be part of their daily routine already. So very good.
Yes. Thank
Those
you,
are
Lord.
wonderful. Also, it was also very interesting na nauna talaga yung number 2 sa number 1 when it came to communicating. I'm sure some moms were also very concerned and confused about it. So at least there's a story that backs them up. We have covered potty training. Hopefully the mommies out there have gotten the tips from Teacher Marah and Mommy Bianca for today and apply it ASAP tomorrow or maybe tonight. We are moving on now to toddler eating habits. Nako, we've talked about this na rin in the previous sessions, yung pagkain ng mga bata kasi it's very difficult talaga for them to eat food that may not taste as great as other food, let's just say. So, first question is, what should I do when my toddler is becoming a picky eater? And ano ang dapat gawin para matutong kumain ng gulay ang mga bata? Teacher Marah?
Okay. So I think kasi when it's toddlers, ngayon pa lang naman talaga na sila na-i-introduce sa different types of food, no? So ngayon pa lang nila na-explore talaga yung kanilang taste, preferences. So it's not necessarily yung kanilang being a picky eater, but really there's just beginning to explore the different tastes, no? Siguro for me, my advice is to, of course naman, syempre for the moms, make sure that your food is palatable. No? Baka naman hindi naman talaga masarap to begin with. So make sure that it's something that your child would like. Okay, of course, syempre dapat kailangan nutritious siya. Then, this is something that we want to establish also. We want them to try to eat. Okay, so when you eat as a family, when, let's say, dinner is served, you have to really encourage everybody to eat what is served, whether, they don't finish it, whether it's not good. But, it's the habit of really teaching everybody to eat what is served. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now, ano pa ba yung mga kailangan i-consider dito? Yung portion of the food, no? Baka naman too much also that they cannot finish it. Okay. Then, also in terms of yung eating vegetables, no? Remember, they're at the stage that they copy. So they cannot copy if you do not also eat vegetables. So it's really role modeling. So, of course, andyan pa rin na, for me as a preschool teacher and as a music and movement teacher, I really also try to introduce songs just to really encourage my child to eat, no? So may mga songs na ganyan that you will encourage your child to eat different kinds of vegetables. For us kasi nag-work yun.
Different kinds, the different kinds of ways also to not really trick but like inspire your children to eat better. Do you have any stories naman, Bianca, about Lucia and Carmen? Are they into vegetables or is it difficult for you as well?
Luckily, I think I'm very lucky because both my children love vegetables. And when I say love, they really will eat it and in fact prefer it. For example, we have our Pinoy ulam, sinigang, or mechado. Minsan, mas mahirap pa sa kanila i-chew yung chicken or yung meat. So, it's just gonna be the vegetables na tinadtad. So, the carrots, the sitaw, the kangkong, the whatever. But I agree with Teacher Marah that it's because it's what we eat. I eat so much gulay. I'm not a vegetarian. I do eat chicken and fish, but I love gulay. So, parang for them, that's normal food. Two other tips I'd like to share. The first tip I learned from a psychologist ng kids. His name is Dr. Joseph Regalado. And sabi niya, yung tinatawag nating paglilihi, may somehow totoo yun eh. Sabi niya, kasi what moms who are pregnant eat, magkakaroon ng parang olfactory memory yung bata. Kasi they're swimming daw in amniotic fluid that, let's say, tastes like blank. So in my case, for example, I love Japanese. So sure enough, pag laki ng anak ko, they love that Japanesey taste also. So, meaning to say, if you eat a lot of gulay, then when you are pregnant, higher chances that your kids will like that taste also. And then second tip, and this is a tip actually for moms of kids who are 6, 7, 8 months old. I was told by friends na wag uunahin yung mga gulay. Kasi diba at that stage, mashed fruit and veggies lang. Sabi nila, wag niyong uunahin yung masyadong matatamis or masyadong maalat na food. Kasi that could develop picky eating. Unlike if you stick to bland-ish ones, they'll be more accepting of different kinds of flavors. So meaning to say, wag mo bigyan ng watermelon. Kasi sobrang tamis nun, di ba? Just try to introduce first the blander tasting gulay and fruits. And hopefully that might help with them not being picky eaters paglaki.
That makes sense nga, no? Because even if parang hindi nauumay at the beginning when they're younger, when they taste the saltier or the sweeter.
Or if they like sweet kasi, usually, yun na lang hahanapin. Gusto nila lagi sweet na lang. Or if they're more hiyang sa salty, mas gusto nila salty lagi. So siguro try na lang nasanayin sa mas bland.
Yes.
Para din, mas accepting sa food.
There you go. What about naman if their eating habits in general? Like we talked about picky eaters, but some kids, they just don't feel like eating or even feeding themselves. That's a different issue naman for the mommies ngayon. So that's actually my next question. How can we encourage a toddler to improve their eating habits, including feeding themselves on their own?
Okay. I think kanina ko pa sinasabi, no, that routines are very, very important. So in a daily, in a day, you have to really identify what time is meal time. O kasi sometimes 5 o'clock pinag-snacks mo na, 6 o'clock dinner na. So naturally talagang konti lang yung kakainin by dinner time. So you really, number one, I think you really have to set a routine. Anong oras yung breakfast? What time is lunch? What time is dinner? Okay. What else? I think that I think it's very important to have a routine in teaching the children to eat. Siguro yung eating per se, no? Syempre, yun nga, they're at the stage that they're becoming more independent. Ako kasi, I allow them to be messy eh. Kasi syempre, hindi pa, their fine motor skills are not fully developed. It's okay na minsan medyo makalat. Ako, I allow that. Eventually naman, they'll grow. They'll see naman that, the other members of the family, when they eat, hindi naman makalat eh. So, they'll pick it up. Yun. That's
unless makalat rin yung kumakain na adults. Baka yun yung i-pick up nila. Is there also anything that, any experience when it comes to mahinang kumain for Carmen and Lucia?
Mahinang kumain. There are days, it's not naman an in general thing. There are days that they really love the ulam and they'll finish eating in like 20 minutes. There are days na hindi and 2 hours bago matapos yung pagkain. I agree with Teacher Marah na routine talaga. Ako, I'm such a routine person. And again, not only for the child, but more for me. Alam ko kung kailan ang oras na gagawin ko ang para sa kanila versus para sa akin. We actually don't do merienda anymore unless they wake up from a nap at like 4 p.m. But usually kasi they wake up from the nap at like 5:30. So ang lapit na sa dinner. So we don't give merienda para kakain na lang ng dinner. I did want to ask Teacher Marah nga about what age usually yung they feed on their own. Kasi until now, my 4.5, I mean, she will. But if siya lang, it will take like 3 hours siguro. So syempre, sinusubuan na din namin. What age is usually yung dapat talaga full meal sila na kumakain?
Case-to-case basis yan, no? Yung panganay ko medyo maaga siya kumain on her own.
What age is that?
Even my daughter, my toddler, no, na 2 she can already feed herself eh. Gusto niya na, yun lang, makalat. Pero yung aking boy, ang tagal niya. As in 4 years old, sinusubuan pa siya.
Yeah, my 4.5.
Oo, so, I think case-to-case basis, I think, more than anything, we just really have to encourage them to try to eat on their own. Usually naman kasi gusto na nila eh. Gusto na nila to feed by themselves. But yun nga, let's try to be more encouraging lang. Malapit na yan. Oo, I'm sure siguro naiinip lang tayo na parang ang bagal niya kumain. O baka she's distracted when she's eating. Ako, isa pa pala yun, no, Cats and Bianca. If there's anything, ako I disapprove yung mga habang kumakain, nanonood ng iPad. Habang kumakain, naglalaro. For me, you have to stick to one task muna. Let them finish eating their food and then afterwards they can play. So yun po. So that's another suggestion pala.
Yeah, the multitasking can go when they are adults, but as children, siguro focus na lang tayo at one milestone, one task at a time. All right. So our next topic naman now, we've moved on now from, so we covered so far, nag-potty training na tayo, nag-eating habits na tayo. So now let's move on sa mga activities ni baby or ni toddler. Sabi ng mommy, and this is a question that was sent in to us, sobrang likot na ni baby at kung saan-saan siya napupunta minsan. Alam niyo to. How do I ensure that he doesn't get rashes from being exposed to dirt? So, Teacher Marah, before you answer this, I also want you to answer, saan ba ang pinaka-interesting na napupuntahan ng toddler mo in your experience?
Ano pinaka-interesting? Actually, ano ba? Well, the park, I guess, no? No, but my toddler, I really allow her to play, no? That's part of growing up. That's their way of exploring things. In fact, we talked about physical development, no? And it's important for children to play. So you expose them to a lot of places where they can work on their physical development, because we want their children to grow healthy, to be fit, to have those body coordination, no? And it's okay for them to be dirty. It's okay for them to sweat, no? That's part of it. Yan ang, di ba? Yan ang pagiging bata. Tayo din naman, di ba? When we were young. You know, so maybe parents are a little bit, siguro medyo concerned nga that, their children will get rashes. Sobrang init naman kasi talaga. But, they can always just take a bath afterwards. They can moisturize the skin with lotion. In fact, perfect yung Johnson's Milk Lotion. Because, even if it's hot, it's summer, it's not greasy, it's very smooth sa skin, hindi malagkit yung pakiramdam. So, don't worry about them getting sweaty and dirty and getting rashes. That's part of growing up. Let them, because we want them to grow up to be healthy, fit, and well-coordinated.
That's so wonderful, because it's true, a lot of mommies are afraid to get their children a little dirty. What about you as a mother, Mommy Bianca? How do you stand in this exposed to dirt of the kids?
Same ako, same as Teacher Marah. I'm laking naglalaro sa kalye. Naglalaro sa lupa. So I wanted my husband as well. So we wanted our kids to experience the same. Now kasi bawal na pumuntang park dito sa village namin. But before talagang we encouraged them to get the sticks from the park, play with it, draw on like the soil or the sand to really get their hands dirty, to feel what nature feels. Like yung mga flowers, alam niyo ba yan, Teacher Marah? Yung gumamela na ididikit tas gagawing necklace. Yan ang mga gusto namin ginagawa sa park. But now, since it's not allowed, so we are limited to the little patch of sun that we get sa harap ng bahay at sa likod ng bahay. Ang kalaban naman namin ngayon is heat rash, like Teacher Marah said, because we make sure that they get sun every day talaga. Every day, kailangan talaga magpa-araw. One, to sweat. We want them to sweat, and to the vitamin D. So we make them play outside after lunch. So medyo mataas pa araw nun, mainit talaga. But they love it. They super love playing outside. At ang ginagawa na lang namin to make it fun for them, right after playtime, gustong-gusto nilang dalawa naliligo sa batya dun sa kung sa laundry area. So magkatabi sila ng batya, dun sila naliligo, tig-isang batya. So diretso, from after playing, syempre, mag-rest nun ng konti para hindi pawis na pawis. And then maliligo. Nag-ano lang kami, iinit ng tubig para ilagay dun sa batya. And then they take a bath together with toys. And then after, like just a few days ago, naunang mag-develop ng heat rash. Buong araw ba yun, heat rash, diba? Yung si Carmen, my 1.5-year-old. So we just make sure na after taking a bath, we put John's Baby Lotion on her. Actually, her nga, she still uses Cotton Touch. Yung Cotton Touch lotion, doon siya talaga super hiyang. Si Lucia naman uses the Johnson's Milk and Rice, yung blue one. I actually use that also. It's so, I love it so much. I use that lotion also. We use it with the bath wash as well. Si Carmen Cotton Touch bath wash. And then because of the rashes, right after the lotion, pag medyo, because it's not sticky nga it's not too mainit for the summer, the milk and rice powder. Yun talaga. Espasol kung espasol, but they complain that it's itchy I don't want naman to compromise na hindi ko napapaarawan. I'd rather na they get that because I can take care of it naman and they get their son. So there, it has, hindi na siya kasing maumbok and mapula when we put the powder on them.
And at least the kids nga, they get the sun, they get to play outside. Kasi if the worry is laging yung rashes, then they won't be able to experience a lot of different things rin about being a toddler na they should be experiencing at this age. So mommies and daddies, the tip right there is to just keep the skin moisturized to avoid the rashes. Practice perfect or beautiful hygiene with your children, which is actually the next question of the mommy that I have right here. When it comes to the kids, Teacher Marah, we want to develop good personal hygiene practices kahit bata pa lang sila. So how do I develop this good personal hygiene practice in my child?
Okay, so going back, no, pare-pareho lang ang sagot ko. It's always a good role model. Good role model. Syempre, they'll see you taking a bath, brushing your teeth, washing your hands, no? So if they see the parents doing that, then they will follow. And syempre, yung pangalawang sagot ko palagi is yung routines, no? You establish that routine, no? When they wake up or they take a bath, or then they, after eating, they brush their teeth. After going to the toilet, they wash their hands. So it's really part of their routine. So it has to really be, it's part of their routine, and they know it's gonna be automatic. Remember, we're talking about toddlers. These are formative years. So anything that we practice and do with them, they will carry on as they grow older. So talagang yon, paulit-ulit lang, and they should see the parents doing it also.
Patience talaga is key when it comes to raising your children, no? It seems like the routine, the everyday, paulit-ulit. Mommy Bianca, have there been any mishaps when it comes to the hygiene practices of your kids? Or no naman, you guys are okay?
No naman mishaps. I totally agree again with Teacher Marah on the routine. And again, to the mommies who just started watching this, ang routine talaga hindi lang para sa bata ha. Ako from the very start, I loved routines. I used yung mga baby app na nilalog mo yung tulog, yung gising, yung wiwi, yung kain. Because when they have a routine, I also know kailan yung time ko na pwede ko gawin yung me time ko. So that's why I love routines. But also because mas nagigets nila. So same as Mommy Marah, when we wake up, iuupo ko na yung anak ko sa potty to pee, whether or not may lumabas. What we do is, kapag naliligo, sinasabay na yung brush teeth. So yung sa batya kanina, after maligo sa batya, habang nasa batya sila, brush teeth sila sabay. So they know that it's part of it. And at night naman, this might work for other moms and dads. Yun ang bonding nila ng daddy niya. So Lucia and my husband brush teeth sabay. It's their thing. They do whatever and then sabay sila mag-brush teeth. So to make it like fun like that or part of us like your special thing, like maybe si mommy ang ka-brush teeth kapag after lunch, si daddy ang ka-brush teeth bago matulog. Maybe that would work also.
How nice.
And the washing hands. Of course, the washing hands. Super important nun. Yeah. And for toddlers, there are videos online now about explaining the coronavirus to them and why we need to wash hands. Yan, magagets nila yan.
Very important talaga to keep a happy experience, no? When it comes to potty training, to eating, it really just has to be something that is gentle, even when you're teaching it to your toddlers. How beautiful. Okay, so we have moved on from our potty training, our eating. Now let's talk about the gadgets naman, because these are, as Teacher Marah said, formative years. Pero we cannot deny rin naman that there are positive benefits of these gadgets. So, Teacher Marah, the question of the mommy is, how can we avoid our children from having too much exposure to gadgets? And ano ang mga pwedeng gawin para malibang ang mga bata para hindi sila gumamit ng gadgets?
Okay. Well, yun nga, as you said, no, it's the digital world already. So medyo, and Mommy Bianca also mentioned na meron talaga mga songs, that you can find in YouTube that can help parenting also, no? But of course, we all know that we should moderate the exposure to gadgets. Okay, so what can we do? Ako, ang napansin ko sa anak ko, no, if I preoccupy her with a lot of different things to do, she doesn't look for the gadget eh. Oo. So, syempre, ano yon? Ano yung mga kailangan gawin? So, we go back to the cognitive development, no? So, since they can already sort shapes and colors, then you just give them a lot of opportunity to do that. So, for example, while they're eating, yung cereals, they can sort all the pink together or all the purple together. Yung mga ganyan, you have to really keep them busy. We talked about toddlers being able to do puzzle pieces already. Now, syempre, it's ECQ and probably you don't have your puzzle with you. You can make. So ito yung, di ba, kanina we were just talking about it, we have to be very resourceful. So in fact, I have here an example. No? So I printed a family picture, then I just cut it into 4 pieces and I just let my child do it. No, syempre, if you don't have a printer, you can just let your child color yung sa coloring sheet. Then that's the one you make into a puzzle. Yun, busy na kaagad yun. That's one activity already for the week, di ba? So you keep your babies very busy. Again, let me just remind everybody how the babies or the toddlers like pretend play. So talagang engage them kasi this is where they develop their language. Because they make up stories, they pretend that they're conversing. So talagang we're working on their cognitive, their language skills, and social skills as well. So it's really, really nice. Of course, yung hide and seek that I mentioned a while ago, no? And of course, keep reading to your children every day. So yun lang, no? Just plan your day. Siguro, as the moms plan kung ano yung menu for the day, ano ba yung lulutuin ko, ano ba ang gagawin ko sa anak ko, isama nyo na rin yan sa mga activities. Meron pa akong isa. So syempre, mahilig yung mga toddlers ng arts and crafts. So for example, you have an old bottle, you just put, let's say, rice grain or salt inside, and then you have a shaker. So again, syempre, music and movement teacher, diba? The children like playing an instrument. So we're also working on their fine motor skills. When we do that, then we're also building creativity. So those are just some of examples on how to keep your child busy. All right. And para medyo maiwas-iwasan ang exposure to gadget.
That's so wonderful. You're also recycling the bottle, using it for the, you're saving space. You are, I love it. Very, very resourceful and creative, which is, I think lahat ng mga mommy very creative sila ngayon sa ECQ. Mommy Bianca naman, what's your relationship naman when it comes to the gadgets?
Si Teacher Marah covered all the wonderful ideas to distract them from gadgets. Siguro ang idadagdag ko na lang is how to parang be strict with them. So me naman, again, I'm a strict mom. Prior to the lockdown, my rule talaga is they can only watch during weekends. This was even before my panganay went to school. Talagang for me, watching only on weekends. Or now, since we're all home, kung manglalambing siya, like she wants to watch one episode or something, if she did like a good deed, I'll say, okay, because you're a good girl today. And again, to Teacher Marah's point, reinforcement. Because you brushed your teeth on time, because you shared your toys with Carmen, because you ate a lot, okay, I will just give you one episode. Sort of as like a acknowledgement, and one lang naman. But other than that, talagang strict ako na weekend lang. And because it became a habit, gets na din nila. So much so na pag Friday, it's Friday, tomorrow it's the weekend! Gaganon siya. So alam niya, excited siya for that, for the weekend. And in terms naman of games on gadgets, hindi kami actually mag-games on gadgets for the longest time until, yun nga, my panganay became a bit bigger and nagiging aware na siya sa mga games sa gadgets. We just make sure that whatever is loaded are all educational games. So it's about counting. I actually had to delete the video app kasi they know di ba, red, tas may white, alam nila, even my 1.5 knows what it looks like. So I just make sure that it's either the counting games or color games or picture matching games so that at least kampante ako that if they do have the gadget. Like now, I'm working up here, hindi ko alam kung pinayagan na nung tatay sa baba, di ba? At least kampante ako knowing that if they do play, it's educational of some sort also.
Right. At least
Educational, it's moderated. So siguro if I may add, Cats, no, okay lang naman talaga. It's okay to let your children explore gadgets. Ako, I've really seen a lot na talagang teacher approved eh. Ang ganda nitong video na to, no. Siguro if I may add, no, just use the gadget as a tool. Pretend that it's a book. No, hindi yung papabayaan mo lang yung anak mo watching, using the gadget on her own. But,
Yes.
you still
Always guided.
Always guided pa rin, no? So, you interact with your child, oh, what color is this? O, so, yung parang ganon. So, kunwari, it's like a book lang that your child is looking at, no? So yun lang, if I may add also.
Oh,
That was
I agree.
wonderful.
Sorry, I forgot to share lang, my weekends only rule. Yung rule na yun, may limitation pa din yun. They know na only, well, my panganay knows only 4 episodes, and then I call it rest eyes. And then I always warn her. So, kunyari, tapos na yung 1 episode. Okay, last 2 episodes. Okay, last 1 episode. And then rest eyes na. So, gets na niya. So much so that even if I'm not there after the 4th episode, kunyari, si ate lang ang nagbabantay, she'll turn off the TV. Parang responsible siya in that way. And even games, I only say, okay, 3 games only. So that they know that there is a limit. Hindi siya parang forever. Yun. Hope that helps.
And it doesn't feel like a punishment to them na, only 4. Parang it's just they're very used to it lang. That's so wonderful.
I tell her kasi rest eyes kasi di ba sasakit din yung mata mo eh. And sometimes on their own, di ba after 2 episodes, they stop na and they play na lang. So, gets niya yung rest eyes.
As adults also, kailangan natin yung rest eyes na yan. We need that also. So hopefully, moms, dads, with the kids as well, we all should apply Mommy Bianca's rule of rest eyes after a few episodes. Okay, so let's talk about naman the patience when it comes to, using these gadgets, because nga everything is there na sa mga gadgets nila. So, Teacher Marah, the question is, paano nakaka-apekto sa patience ng toddler ang masyadong paggamit ng gadgets? I see your face, Teacher Marah. It's wincing.
Well, I think, I don't have to elaborate because I think parents know, they see it, they see the change in temperament kapag talagang if too much exposure to gadget, no? So what are the other things that we have to look out for? Kanina lang we mentioned about yung eyes. So there are really studies na nagkakaroon talaga ng visual problems ang mga toddlers because they're exposed too much to these gadgets. Ano pa ba, there are really studies also na nakakaroon ng speech delay. Kasi nga, they're just relying on, the screen. Walang interaction. They don't get to converse already. Ang pinaka nakakalungkot dito na isang study, nagwi-weaken daw yung parent and child relationship because of too much exposure to gadgets. And that's very, very sad. Because we all know how important it is to connect and to bond with our children. So yun ang mga nakakalungkot. Isa pang problem associated with using too much gadget is yung nadi-disrupt yung sleep nila. Kasi para they're stimulated, and so somehow that affects their sleeping pattern or their sleeping habits. So yun. Talagang medyo wait. Ang ganda na ginawa ni Mommy Bianca, no? Nakaset siya. At saka ang ganda kasi may conditioning. May conditioning siya na okay, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yung alam ng bata, prepared siya, hindi yung kinuha mo na lang, ay tama na. Diba?
Yes. And I actually learned that from my daughter. I took that cue from her. Kasi before that, when she would watch episodes, and I just say, okay, tama na. She's like, parang nasa-shock siya. And I realized, nga naman. But because of that, I started to warn her to so much so na nako-condition siya na, okay, after this episode, rest eyes na.
It's very important also to take the cues from your kids because
kasi
they're
iba
also
per kid.
Yeah, like they won't be able to react in a negative way if you don't do it in a negative way as well. So very, very good when it comes to the patience. I mean, at least you have more bonding moments rin with your children, diba? Napaka-scary naman. You only have your child for a few years, tapos madi-distance pa siya because of the gadget. How scary. Okay, next question. Ito po. Because of the ECQ, we are all stuck at home. So a lot of us are homeschooling. So now this is a homeschooling question. Is it okay to use the gadgets as long as it's school related? Or should there still be a limit on the hours of gadget time? I think you both answered this a little bit more. But Teacher Marah, can you elaborate when it comes to using it as a tool?
Oh, so well, of course, right now, schools are really preparing to go online. No, I think that's going to be a norm because wala pang vaccine. Just for the safety of everybody, the students and the teachers. Medyo, it's really going to be online. I think even if it's online, even if it's educational, teachers know that it should still be limited. Oh, so at most, siguro for toddlers, it at most 1 hour to 1.5 siguro at most. So yun nga ang magiging problema natin because we don't want to really give too much exposure to the kids. So kahit na educational siya Oo.
Mommy Bianca, has this changed your rule kasi homeschooling with the gadgets?
Yes, but with my 4.5-year-old, so to other parents who have medyo the preschooler age, yan, hindi pa naman kasi strict ang school kapag preschooler. It's more of like getting them into the habit that there is school. These are the different subjects and these are numbers, these are letters, these are words, colors, shapes, ganyan. So I actually have used my laptop a lot when it comes to teaching my kids. I found my teaching my preschooler. I found sites that teach English, teach math through games. So that I allow. And I also found sites where they have videos about about animals. So yun ang inaalaw ko. But the same psychologist kanina that I mentioned, si Dr. Joseph, he said the reason naman screens are scary is that because it's one way. The information only goes like that. Hindi sila sumasagot. So I just make sure that when I use the laptop for teaching, I'm there. I'm the second voice of the laptop. So for example, match the letter H, kunyari. Oh, is that the H? Parang just so that it still feeds a two-way thing. Kasi yun daw yung scary. When they're sitting in front of a TV, kunyari, watching shows half a day, it's all in. So they're not encouraged to speak. So I make sure that when I teach her using the laptop, oh, wow, look at that dinosaur. What? The dinosaur used to have feathers? That's so silly. Para she'll react also. And then now naman, with preschool age, there are options na parang sasali ka ng video call, ganito. So again, that's two ways. So parang feeling ko for me, okay na din yun. Because to Teacher Marah's point, I think the online schooling will definitely be a part of our lives from here on. So we have to adjust also.
And it just has to be in, again, when you said guided or more responsible way that we really use gadgets then, because they're not negative completely. It's just we have to be able to use them properly talaga. Speaking of learning and the distractions that our kids have right now, the next question comes from a mommy who asks, how do we start developing a toddler's sensory skill? Ayan, Teacher Marah, how do we answer this?
Okay, when we talk about sensory skills, so these are that skills that it would involve their senses, no? So their sense of sight, their sense of smelling, hearing, tasting, and touching. So how do we develop it? Well, just exposure. It's really a matter of exposing them. Try to provide a lot of multisensorial activities. So for example, nasa yung aking shaker, no? So for example, they're listening to music, they're shaking the instrument. That's already multisensorial because they're listening to the music, they're seeing the movement of, the shaker. We're working on the steady beat. So it's multisensorial. So we expose the children to a lot of simple activities that would involve the senses, no? Let me just share one example. For example, you have a tray, you just put salt there. Okay, so let them touch it. Oh, it's rough. So you talk about language development. It's rough. Okay, if you put food coloring, or then you can talk about colors. Then of course they can write on it. You can introduce letters or lines depending on their age. Tapos, of course, if you put water, then they begin to understand that, oh, it dissolves pala if you put water. So just, exposing them, trying to provide as many multisensorial activities as possible. So yun.
Oh, what were your multisensorial activities naman, Mommy Bianca, during this quarantine so far?
Well, a lot of it has to do with the toys talaga, like the colors of the toys, the texture of the toys, books, we're into books a lot. And I think, babalikan ko lang yung bath time, we don't have to have a lot of toys at home eh. Alam mo, like for example, the Johnson shampoo and conditioner, may kulay na yan eh. Yung bath wash, may kulay na yan eh. Yung bote at least. So even that, like, this is blue. To my younger, this is blue. This is pink. Alam niya, this is white. So anything actually that you see in the house that has color, it's easy. It's pretty easy to use that as an example to teach colors. And then with everything else Teacher Marah said, I have done all those in my kids as well.
The playing around. And this is the time na talagang i-explore yung mga different areas of the house, figure out, what you can teach and show your toddlers, because to them, the house is a giant castle, giant school, exactly like what Teacher Marah said, because of that imagination that they have. Okay,
yeah,
so...
even because you mentioned that sa bahay, may pangalawa, may bunso is fascinated with the butiki. Sobra. Like, uy, may butiki. She really may book din kasi kami, nabigyan kami ng Dumaan si Butiki. But yun ang naging favorite niya. But even sa labas ng bahay, yung may butiki, tuwang-tuwang-tuwa siya sa butiki. Hindi ko alam bakit. And like, yung may kapitbahay kami na yung puno ng mangga, na uhulog yung mangga sa bubong. So, maingay yun, di ba? So, she knows now when she hears that, oh, what's that? Where's the mangga? Where's the mangga, Carmen? She'll go, oh, parang we use like things that are happening around in nature also to develop the sensory skills.
It's wonderful to, like, even if you're at home, these different things that are happening, that it becomes like a learning experience for the kids. Very, very normal things for us, but for them, it's really just this whole new world. So hopefully the mommies can comment also what these different experiences that they've had in the comment section. We'd love to hear your stories as well. We have another question. Ito naman. Since toddlers are easily distracted or have very little patience, you both know this, what can we do to keep their focus on the specific activities that we are doing?
I think Bianca was able to answer that a while ago, no? So it's really just a matter of engaging your child in the task, no? Yung talagang be involved also in the learning. So you just keep engaging, you follow up questions, or remember what we did, what we saw the other day, yung mga ganyan. So talagang you have to really be part of the learning process.
But what about naman if like they say paulit-ulit na lang, or the kids keep thinking, or the parents keep thinking paulit-ulit na lang sinasabi? Paano na naman yun?
Ay, nako, for me, kapag paulit-ulit, happy ako doon. Oh. kasi that's when learning really takes place eh. So imagine, when the child experiences something new, so neural connections are formed in the brain. So medyo technical tayo, no? But when you repeat an activity, these neural connections are strengthened. So for me, kapag inuulit-ulit ni mommy or pinapaulit ng anak ko, that I'm very happy because I know that they're learning. So again, just be patient. Pero yun lang, just to change the mindset, no? Pag pinapaulit ng bata, let's say the story, I am very, very happy. Kasi remember, they should be able to complete sentences already. Di ba, my toddler at 2 years, 8 months, kaya na lang mag-fill in yung sentences sa mga books eh. So kasi nga, paulit-ulit kami. And kahit inaantok ako, sige, we just keep reading before she falls asleep. Okay lang yun. Be happy.
The patience is really so different. What about Mommy Bianca? Your experience naman with distraction or keeping the focus?
It's very different with my two kids. So my 4.5-year-old, she's always been the very studious, obedient, responsible one. So during times that I try to homeschool and I see because there are days that she's so engaged the whole time. But there are also days that yung parang midway pa lang she's looking at this side. So I adjust. Kasi I know naman I'm not really a teacher and I just want to do school at home just so she knows in her head that there is school every morning. And I do it actually para hindi ako mahirapan for when the school year starts. That's why I did. See, laging para ako hindi mahirapan din. Not just about the child. But with my second one, yun talaga her patience is very maikli. Like when we read a book, kalahati pa lang, she'll go na to the next book. So actually, I don't know. Teacher Marah, I don't know why. But me naman, I just change the book and read the next book that she wants. So they are very different, but I agree with Teacher Marah that I think when we ask why our kids have very short patience, i-change natin na tayo na lang ang magpahaba ng patience natin, which is easier said than done. I know, but we have to try.
We have the capacity to adjust to our kids. So for this time, we will adjust to them when it comes to the patience meter. Hopefully in the future, they really become more patient than us as well. Hopefully, diba? Kasi we showed them so much patience as a child. So we have a question naman here about, I like this. This is about confidence, self-confidence for the toddlers. You know, I really believe that a lot of our confidence we learn when we're children. So this question is so beautiful. Pag tinuturuan ko siya on how to do things on her own, sinasabihan niya lang ako ng, I can't do this. Ano ang pwedeng gawin para magkaroon siya ng self-confidence? Teacher Marah.
Okay. Self-confidence for me, paano ba? I think, constant assurance from the parents, that would build the confidence. This is what I always tell my parents, when the child feels emotionally secured, when the child feels loved, then that's the only time that learning can really take place. So, talagang, you have to assure the child na, it's okay, you just try, you can do it. Once you're consistently showing your love, your presence, your support to the child, she or he will slowly build that confidence. So always, I think yun yung EQ na sinasabi, no? So make sure that the bonding is strong. Make sure that the child feels loved. Then, the confidence will grow. The learning will happen. So yun. So always be there. Pinopromote niya ni Johnson's, yung strong connections of the parent and the child. Yun.
It really is up to mommy talaga, no? Mommy Bianca, with all your routines and with, the love that you show to Carmen and Lucia, what can you say naman about really instilling this kind of confidence in them?
I agree again, of course, with Teacher Marah about the parang affirmation, the affirmation when they do something good. Buti din, Teacher Marah mentioned the strong connections. Ibabalik ko lang din to what you mentioned earlier about the gentle parenting. Now, when they don't get it right, instead of getting mad, just encourage pa rin, continuous encouragement. Kasi I can only imagine na frustrating din naman for them if they can't get it right. So to hear their parents encourage them, that will help boost. And what I always tell my daughter, kasi my 4.5-year-old, lagi din yung sinasabi ko, nyari may itatry siyang gawin. Whether to trace, connect the dots, or write a certain letter, write a certain word, read 3-letter words. I can't do it. What's that again? I can't do it. Yung parang hindi siya sure. I say, no, you just try it. Try it again. Do it again. And then I'll go with her step by step. But I don't know if you know the song of Trolls, yung Get Back Up Again. I don't know if you've seen that video, but the song is basically the character in Trolls na nahulog na, nakagat na ng ano, and then she just always gets back up again. So the music video is very colorful. A lot of kids love it. I always refer to that. I always tell her, remember si Queen Poppy in Trolls? She fell down, but she stood up. Parang I make it relatable for her in that way. And then nakakatuwa din naman kasi when, kunyari, she doesn't want to read the word. And then I just say, okay, just decode it. So, kunyari, D-O-G, the dog. Kunyari, mabasa niya, see, you're able to do it! Oh my gosh, high five! Yung kala mo, anong achievement na yung gawa?
Yes.
Diba? And you see their face light up talaga na when they're able to do it, parang tuwang-tuwa din sila. So, that's with my 4.5-year-old. But again, every child is different. My 1.5 naman so far is very fearless. Like, hindi niya kailangan ng prodding. Naturally confident siya. Magsa-slide siya on her own. She'll do things on her own. So, I'll see more in the coming months and years how she is. But so far, very different yung personality na. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but one thing is for sure, the affirmation and the confidence talagang kailangan galing from the home and from the moms and dads talaga. Congratulations, by the way, on the milestones of your toddlers that they've reached so far, mommies. Okay, we have another question naman. This one is just plain and simple. Teacher Marah, is it okay to give chores to my toddler?
Of course. There are age-appropriate chores, no, for toddlers. They can already do so many things. They can fix their bed. They can pack away their toys, their books. They can put their clothes in the hamper. They can wipe yung mga spills nila. So it's just appropriate lang naman for you to start already. Remember, it's formative years. So if we start them early, it's something that they will carry. Of course, syempre, when they fix the bed, it's not perfectly done, no? But we start them young. We teach them responsibility, and it's okay. And of course, you can still also make it fun. You can use songs. Or this is the way we fix our bed so early in the morning. So it really becomes a positive activity versus inuutosan mo talaga yung bata. But again, we want to instill to teach them responsibility early on.
That it is important to make sure that they're appropriate chores, mommies and daddies, and it will be learning experiences from them. Mommy Bianca, what are samples of the chores that you do with your children?
Again, my panganay, the 4.5, responsible one ever since. She likes packing away on her own. She's very malinis sa gamit like her dad. So ever since, we just tell her one pack away. Papack away na talaga siya. And kunyari pa, I'm working on my laptop, tapos naglalaro siya dyan, she'll pack away. Look, mommy, look! Mommy, I packed away. Parang proud na proud pa siya niya. And syempre, as a mom, thank you, Lucia. You're really the best ate in the world. Ganyan. Best ate kasi may baby. Hindi siya pwedeng sabihing best daughter. So, best ate, best baby. Yan ang distinction na kung dalawa ang anak ninyo. With my pangalawa naman, again, she's only entering toddler stage. Pero na-auto na siya ng kunyari, get something from the other side of the room pag ayaw ko nang tumayo. Please get the tissue, Carmen. This kukunin naman niya. So, I agree with age-appropriate chores.
And it's very, very helpful to the children naman. I mean, and at least helpful rin kay tired mommy and daddy sometimes.
They like being helpful din kasi. At least for my panganay, ha?
Parang they feel confident kasi they can do it. So parang, I was able to do something valuable. I was able to please my mommy and daddy. So they really like it.
Oh, that's wonderful. So do not be afraid, of course, mommies and daddies who are listening, to give your children a few chores, but make sure that it is still a beautiful experience for all of you. Okay, so we talked about affirmations kanina, but there's also a way that moms and dads can get things done by giving them something in exchange, or let us say bribing. I don't want to say the word pero it's in the question. Is it okay naman po to bribe kids when you want to teach them? Kasi my fear is baka naman masanay na laging may kapalit kapag may pinapagawa or tinuturo. Teacher Marah, you want to answer this first?
Oo, sinagot niyo na. Oh, well, rewards is okay. Giving rewards is okay. But too much is not good. Okay, so there's a lot of ways to reinforce a positive behavior, no? Yung ginagawa ni Mommy Bianca, yung mga praising, yung OA na praise.
Okay na OA, kala mo kung ano na-achieve. Oo.
That works. You know, that works. That's what we call yung verbal positive reinforcement, yung giving praise. And of course, when you give praise, kailangan very specific, hindi lang yung mga very good. What exactly did your child do? Para alam din niya. You know, I saw that you carefully packed away your books. You know, yung mga ganyan, kung ano mismo yung task na ginawa niya. Then of course, yung mga non-verbal gestures are also a good form of positive reinforcement. Yung a simple smile, kasi nakatingin sila. Remember, yung social-emotional milestone, no? They have that sense of awareness already. If you know what they do is pleasing or, you know, hindi appropriate for the parents, gusto nila. So when they see their mommy smiling, if they did something correct, nakatingin yan eh. So that's an affirmation already for them. Smiling, nodding, hugging. Yan yung mga, some other ways of reinforcing a positive or a good behavior. So, alam na nung mommy nung nagtanong eh. Alam niya na baka kasi masanay, di ba? So, but it's okay. It's okay to give rewards. It's not at all bad. Ang masama siguro dyan if it's too much. And yun nga, yung hindi naman appropriate. For example, di ba yun, nag-fix ng bed, bibigyan mo ba siya ng reward for fixing the bed? You don't want your child to grow up fixing the bed because she will get candy. You know, you want your child to fix a bed because she wants it neat and clean. Yung mga ganyan. So you have to also consider the appropriateness of, you know, giving the award.
I would love to be bribed by unlimited hugs, diba? Dapat yun lang yung exchange. No to candies, but right now, hugs talaga. Mommy Bianca, did you ever have a situation na you had to use the bribe to your children?
Me hindi. As I said earlier, I'm really the strict one. So for me, kung ayaw mo gawin, sorry. I mean, like, kunyari, there's something that she has to do and she won't. I'm very, very strict, so I won't give any reward in exchange. But of course, the father is a different topic altogether. Hindi ko na-control yon, but I guess I've accepted that he gives rewards. Talo siya kasi 2 girls yung anak niya. They have him wrapped around their tiny fingers. But I guess it's a good balance, and I'm really the disciplinarian. What has worked for my 4-year-old, and we started this siguro 3.5 siya, was a good girl chart. I really don't know where she saw it. I think she saw it from a book ba or a cousin, I forgot. But she also helped make it. So she wrote I prompted her GOOD, anyway, good girl chart. And then it's just 3 things. It's eating, it's playing, and playing means sharing toys with her sister and packing away, and hygiene. So that's if you brush your teeth, take a bath on time, and etc. So she gets a sticker whenever she does well that day, whether tinapos yung pagkain sa plato, the day finished na hindi sila nag-away over a toy, or she got to take a bath and brush her teeth on time several times a day, she gets a sticker. And even that sticker pa lang, she's so happy. So, I mean, sticker lang ang puhunan nun, diba? But seeing it getting full, she's like, can you put a sticker? Can you put a sticker? She's so happy. So, yeah, that's one thing that has worked for us. Yung toddler ko, the entering toddler, hindi pa niya yata masyado naintindihan. So, yon, in the coming months, we'll see.
Maybe that is a way that the mommies can try also. I mean, you can also start your own good girl or good boy charts to, you know, encourage your kids to do their chores, or pag nahihirapan kayo na pagawin, patoothbrushin yung mga bata. When I was a child, ang hirap kong ipatoothbrush. So, maybe that's a little thing that we, instead of the candies or the different rewards, diba? It's something that they can be proud of. The chart up there. So, how wonderful. Okay, so the next question naman is, my child is showing delays. Is he just a late bloomer? Oh, when do I seek help? Okay, Teacher Marah, Would you like to answer this first?
Of course, as teachers, we don't label, no? Ako siguro, the parents would have a gut feel if their child is showing delay. So I guess I talked about the different milestones kanina, no? So for example, your child is not yet talking 2 to 4 word sentences. So possible na may delay. So all you have to do is really go to your pediatrician, and maybe they can, recommend further assessment. You trust your gut feel as a mommy. You can ask fellow mommies, as to the development of your child. Siguro, no, i-continue ko na, just in case if there's a delay, as a preschool teacher, this is what I always tell my parents. It's okay. You do early intervention. You help your child. Kasi ang nagiging problema pa yung in denial yung mga mommies. Of course, I'm sure it's heartbreaking. I'm sure it's heartbreaking. But as a mom, you'll do everything for your child. I've seen cases that, because the parent was very open, within after 1 or 2 years, the child is already, at par. Oo. So talagang, again, trust your gut feel. Compare with other mommies. Consult your your pediatrician muna. And then, of course, they will refer you to a developmental pediatrician. But do it. Do it for your child. That's the best way that you can help your child, if you really do early intervention, just in case.
It really is so important na you're there for your child, but at the same time also that na hindi ka mag-isa, pwede ka magtanong, marami kang mommy friends, maraming mga outlets. Mommy Bianca, you already mentioned all your different outlets that you really have talked about. Like, it seems like you really know the right way to ask for help and for advice about things like this.
I am Miss Ask for Help. We talked about it before going on cam earlier, and I shared with you, Cats, and Teacher Marah, that when my child was born, hindi naging totoo para sa akin yung your maternal instincts kick in. Sa akin, sobrang hindi. Talagang I was struggling. I still am struggling, but I know a bit more now. So I was Miss Ask every mom friend, ask my pedia, kulit na yung pedia ko sa akin, ask my mom, everything, talaga the works. Until I found yung nag-work para sa akin at sa anak ko. And if there's one thing talaga I've learned about parenting, every child is different and every mom is different. Hindi talaga dahil nag-work sa mommy na to means it will work for you. You have to see all the advice you can and see what works for you. And with my 2 kids alone, kita ko ibang-iba na yung month in which they hit the milestones. With my first, I was so strict na, sabi ng pedya, by 3 months, dapat ganito na. So parang the competitive girl in me, roll over! Alam mo yun, yung parang cheer ka talaga yung anak ko. But with my second, I realized that iba-iba talaga sila ng pace. And with my second, I was more chill. And I trust naman, tama sabi ng Teacher Marah, you'll know you'll have a gut feel kung sobrang late naman. If it's just a month or 2 late, that should be okay. They will catch up. And I really trust my pedya. Kapag sinabi naman niya, hindi, pwede mo lang i-coach yan, tulungan mo ng konti, or you say words talaga like, wow, mommy, and things like that. They're more or less within time pa naman na pwede nilang matutunan yung mga yan.
How wonderful also to not be too worried kasi nga, diba, if they don't reach specific milestones, nakaka-worry. But, mommies, daddies, maybe this is the time really to relax a little bit since we are all at home and, you will get that gut feel, and also the fact that you can ask your pedias, online help, your fellow mommies, as well as more episodes like this, like the School of Gentle sessions, where we are really here to help you, ease your worries and feel a little safer during the ECQ. Now, Teacher Marah, Mommy Bianca, that was actually the last question from the questions that I've had sent earlier. But we are not done yet because mommies and daddies, I hope you are still with us. And it seems like you are because ang dami talagang mga tanong right now. So there are live questions that were asked. Let's start with this first one that was sent. What if they intentionally do not follow your instructions? Do we reprimand them or do we let them be? This is a tricky one. So, Teacher Marah, would you like to start? Or Mommy Bianca, do you have something?
Sige, ako. And this works for my 4-year-old again. The 1-year-old, medyo she's really the matigas ulo one. I can see it. So with her, it's just really paulit-ulit. But with my 4-year-old, my preschooler, kunyari I'm trying to give her instructions and she does not want to listen, distracted or for whatever reason, I'll just tell her, okay, when you're ready to talk to mommy, just go to me, okay? I'll talk to you. Until then, hindi ko muna siya papansinin. Because I'll tell her, if you don't want to talk to mommy, it's okay, but I also won't talk to you if you don't want to talk to me. So when you're ready, come to me. So sure enough, she'll play or whatever. Baka hindi pa lang niya feel at that time. So when she's done with what she has, she'll go to me, mommy, I'm ready to talk na. Sure enough, she'll be the one to go to me. So that is what has worked for me so far. Yung daddy naman, different story kasi, you won't talk to me, sige, I won't mind you. Yung super drama naman silang ganyang mag-ama. So iba naman ang approach nilang dalawa. Until she'll be like, daddy, tapos magkikiss na maglalambing na, syempre hindi na kaya ng daddy, bibigay na. So magkaibang approach.
And they both work in their own special ways. Right? So they are both, at least, they get both the best of both worlds at the time talaga. Teacher Marah, what can you say about, reprimanding the child if they don't want to follow instructions or bahala na?
No, actually, if they don't follow instructions, minsan nagte-test lang yung mga yan eh. They will see how you will react. Ayan, magagalit ba si mommy? If I don't follow instructions. Minsan talagang they're trying they're testing the parents of what reactions they will do. So, okay naman yung ginawa ni Mommy Bianca, di ba? Hindi niya tinapatan, the defiant behavior, hindi niya dinagdagan by being defiant. Also, ay nako, kung ayaw mo, di ba? So talagang she just waited. Kasi nakangapa lang itong mga parents, itong mga bata, nangangapa lang sila. And even in school, alam nila kung kaya nila i-manipulate yung teacher or hindi. So they're really trying to just see, nagmamanipulate sila talaga kung kaya nila si mommy or hindi, Again, I would go back to just doing positive reinforcement, versus scolding. It's really going back to gentle parenting eh. So as much as possible, sana in a positive way when we talk to our children.
It seems that it's really a
Sorry,
routine.
I'll add lang ha.
Yes,
I'll add
Bianca,
lang with
go
what
ahead.
Teacher Marah said. I agree that kids, lalo na toddlers, they just test your patience and see kung hanggang saan ka kaya. But of course, I am far from being a perfect mom. We don't make palo. We don't believe in palo. I know some parents who do. But I have shouted at my child when I lost patience. So, ganyan. Hindi nakikinig, testing your patience. Ikaw, pagod ka, maikli na lang PC mo. So, there was a time that I shouted, Lucia! Talagang ganon. Talagang galit na galit ako. And she saw it in my eyes. And I just remember that after that,
yes. There we go.
Yeah,
yes,
sorry. We lose each other there. Sorry. Parang sa climax ng kwento pa nagka.
Yeah, I know. I was like, and after that, ano nangyari?
Parang may cliffhanger. Yeah, so basically, what happened was, as soon as I shouted on her, there was a look of shock on her face. And I immediately said sorry, hugged her. Umiiyak kami pareho. So after nalabas ko yon, there was really automatic, gentle ka na kaagad. You are the gentle, loving parent who says sorry. And I explained to her, because they understand this, sorry, mama shouted, I shouldn't have, but please listen to me. Parang ganun na lang. So when you do lose your cool, parents, it's okay, tao lang tayo, but we should also explain to them bakit tayo nagalit. Hindi yata pwede yung magagalit lang and they don't know why. And ayun, make it up with a lot of love. Sorry. MMK moment kami nun eh.
Affirmation and love, and at least they saw the worst that could happen, and then there's forgiveness and all of that kind and loving experiences that you can have together. But I think that's a beautiful way to end our Q&A, because we really we have so many questions, but the time is really not enough anymore during these Johnson School of Gentle sessions. I mean, Teacher Marah, Mommy Bianca, it's been wonderful having you. But before we end, of course, Teacher Marah, I'm sure that a lot of moms who maybe weren't able to watch earlier, we just want to recap the 4 toddler developmental milestones that you shared earlier, because these are really key for the moms and the dads out there. So would you share it again in case our viewers missed it?
Okay. I'll go through it thoroughly, no? Okay.
For sure.
Okay, so again, there are 4 areas of development. So that's physical, social, emotional, language, and cognitive. So you should try to make sure that your child are hitting the milestones, no? So when we talk about physical, the child should be able to jump and land on 2 feet. They should be able to run. They should be able to stand on tiptoe, kick a ball, throw a ball. They should be able to climb up and down furnitures, walk up and down the stairs holding onto the rail, and they should be able to at least pedal a tricycle. So, a tricycle. So, yun yung mga different milestones for physical. When we talk about social-emotional, we talked about this is how they are able to manage their emotions and deal with other people. Remember, they like to copy. So, very important that we be a good role model to our children. They are able to show concern to others. So, ito na, nag-uumpisa na yung empathy. Like, sorry si Mommy Bianca, nasigawan niya. The child understood that. So, we try to show concern. They already know how to show concern for others. They have a strong sense of ownership. So, if that means they need their own potty for potty training, if they need their own utensils, of course, to establish that good proper eating habits, no? So, kasi nga, they have a very strong sense of ownership. Yung kanilang awareness of the parents' approval and disapproval, yan. They're very, very sensitive at this age. So, they really want to always please their parents, okay? Then, of course, it's at this age that they're showing more and more independence. Ang lagi nating naririnig sa kanila at this stage is, me only, I can do it. Okay, so they like to explore already. Come language development, yun na. Actually, madaldal na talaga sila dito, no? So they can name, of course, they can say their names, the names of the people around them, their body parts. They can speak 2 to 4 word sentences. They can follow instructions, no? Whether it's a 1-step instruction or 2-step instruction. Then, come cognitive, they can already sort shapes and colors. They can stack towers. They can already do 3 to 4 piece puzzles. They like pretend play. Okay, they like hide and seek, and they can already complete sentences of a familiar rhyme or a book. So these are the milestones that toddlers should be able to do at this age.
There you have it, the developmental milestones, the 4 toddler developmental milestones that you have to look out for. I'm sure because of the quarantine, all the mommies and daddies will be able to really experience all of this and, take into their appreciate rather na you get this much time na maybe you wouldn't have if we weren't on quarantine. So Teacher Marah, Mommy Bianca, thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us. We have covered as much as we can, but is there anything you would like to say to our viewers who have stayed with us talaga until the end, really listening to all of our stories? Mommy Bianca, Teacher Marah, who would like to start?
Sige, go ahead, Teacher Marah.
Siguro, well, let me just emphasize that while it's ECQ, take advantage of this time to really bond and connect with your child, create a lot of these happy memories, because this positivity, this is something that they will carry on as they grow up. Again, they are in their formative years, so we want to create happy, loving memories. Okay, and of course, I think, if I may emphasize, let's go for gentle parenting, mommies. I know it's not easy, but I think that's the best way to have a healthy, happy child.
Thank you, Teacher Marah. Learned so much talaga from you. And Mommy Bianca, anything you'd like to say?
Thank you, Teacher Marah, because I learned so much from you. Again, thank you, Kat.
I learned so much from you.
Wonderful talking to the both of you. Thank you to all the mommies and probably daddies who are watching this, or parents-to-be. I will take off from what Teacher Marah said, and that's why this series is called School of Gentle. I think it's the School of Gentle, not just for our kids, but for us. I mean, it's easier said than done to be gentle and patient with our kids. But I really realized that energy is everything. That if we are stressed or sad or angry, or our energy is sort of negative, that rubs off on our children, especially babies and toddlers. Alam ko yon. On days that I feel stressed, they are also irritable and hindi nakaka-focus. But when I am more calm and happy, that happy energy rubs off on them also. So aside from being gentle to our kids, I think we should be gentle first and foremost to ourselves, kasi that will naturally rub off on our children. So what do I mean? Get sleep. Please use this time to get complete sleep. We are not stuck in traffic going to and from work. So please sleep. Please eat healthy. Please do whatever it is that makes you happy, whether it's your cup of coffee, reading a book, enjoying kahit a bit of me time late at night or early in the morning, pagtulugan lahat, whatever it is you need to do. Because, again, we have to be gentle to ourselves so we can be gentle to our kids. And thank you, Johnsons, for having this series, kasi it has been very, very helpful to so many parents talaga.
Thank you so much, Mommy Bianca and Teacher Marah. I can't thank you guys enough, because it was so wonderful talking to you guys talaga. Thank you, mommies.
Thank you. And to everyone who's watching this, I know it will get saved kasi after. Please do share it on your page or to mommy friends who might benefit from this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you once again to our mommies today. That was Teacher Marah, Mommy Bianca, who joined us for today's Johnson School of Gentle. Yes, this is going to be posted in the Johnson's Baby Facebook page. Share it away to all the mommies that you feel could need help, because like we said earlier, it's okay to ask for help. That is the most important thing. You are not alone, mommies and daddies, in this quarantine. We are here to help you. Thank you for tuning in until the end of our session today. Watch out for more Johnson School of Gentle sessions, because we have a lot in store for you, mommies. We will also be having our other celebrity or Johnson celebrity Mombassadors. We have Sab Magalona, Kylie Padilla, and Divine Lee in the other episodes. So we hope to see you again. Don't forget to follow Johnson's Baby on Facebook and on Instagram to find more ways to care for your babies and kids. Again, my name is Kat Salaw. It was Teacher Marah and Mommy Bianca joining me today. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have a good evening. Bye!
Bye! Good evening.
Should you wish to learn more about managing stress during pregnancy, please continue watching this Facebook Live video.
Alam ng marami na ang stress ay masama para sa kalusugan. Ngunit madalas nakalilimutan na ang stress ng isang buntis ay masama para sa kanyang sanggol. Ang mataas na stress level sa pagbubuntis ay kasalukuyang nararanasan ng maraming ina. Sa bawat 100 buntis, 78 ang nakararanas ng ilang sintomas ng psychosocial stress bago manganak. at 6 ang may mas malalang sintomas. Kaya bilang isang ina, kailangan mong magsikap na mabawasan ang mga ugat ng stress sa iyong buhay. Huminga, kumalma, bumitaw. Ang mataas na stress levels ay maaaring makasama sa paglaki ng sanggol sa iyong sinapupunan. Maaari itong magdulot ng maagang panganganak at kaugnay nito ang mababang timbang ng sanggol. Sa katagalan, ang stress ng mga buntis ay may panganib na dulot sa kanilang mga anak, tulad ng allergies, hika at sakit sa pag-iisip. Nakasasama rin ang stress sa iyong kalusugan. Nadadagdagan nito ang iyong posibilidad na magkaroon ng pre-eclampsia at gestational diabetes. Kaya, ano ang pwede mong gawin para mabawasan ang iyong stress at makabuo ng ligtas na kanlungan sa iyong sinapupunan? Ang una mong dapat isaalang-alang ay ang physical na relaxation at meditation. Ang yoga, masahe, malalim na paghinga, guided imagery, meditation, at pag-ehersisyo ay kabilang sa mga therapeutic na gawain. Kapag nanatiling mataas ang iyong stress levels, kumonsulta sa isang profesional para sa pagpapayo at pagsusuri. At panghuli, ang isa sa mga pinakamahalagang tulong sa pagbubuntis ay ang pakikipag-ugnay sa iyong social support network. Ang tulong at suporta ng iyong mga kaibigan at kamag-anak ay konektado sa mas mababang posibilidad ng delikadong pagbubuntis. May ilang mga sanhi ng stress na mahirap kontrolin. Kabilang narito ang pinansyal na pangangailangan, hirap sa trabaho, mga nasirang relasyon, mabibigat na responsibilidad sa pamilya o mga komplikasyon sa pagbubuntis. Gayunpaman, kaya mong kontrolin ang matyagang pagpapabuti ng iyong isipan, kilos at mga reaksyon. Para sa karagdagang impormasyon tungkol sa kahalagahan ng kalusugang pangkaisipan sa pagbubuntis, bisitahin ang aming website.
To watch more First 1000 Days videos, you may sign up using the link found in the caption.